I agree with you. I think equities, U.S. equities in particular, are really critical, right? They influence confidence. We can't see a large correction, but I think it's to be expected that we see some deflation in asset prices as the Fed is tightening monetary policy and against this backdrop of slower global growth. The question is really, how quickly does this occur? Is this a soft landing, or do we see more of a pronounced slowdown? Our expectation is for more of a soft landing. We have the Fed hiking 3 times in 2016, precisely because of these hiccups. That's something we expect will persist into the year.
Gina, let me ask you about U.S. equities in particular. Overnight, Citi has gone underweight
Right.
U.S. equities. They're saying that the global bull market is tired and old, but still not finished, but you'd make more money in, for example, Europe ex-UK and Japan. Where are you on this equity market in particular?
You know, I think you can still be fairly constructive on U.S. equities. You do just have to pick your spots pretty carefully. It is very clear that the U.S. is the most advanced in their cycle. And last year was the perfect example of that. European equities outperformed, Japanese equities outperformed, even Chinese equities outperformed the U.S. market last year. As the U.S. is starting to constrain liquidity, you have to be more careful in which areas of the market you invest. That doesn't mean, though, that I don't think you want to underweight U.S. equities. I don't think you want to fade what is still the strongest growing economy in the developed world. You just want to pick your spots more carefully, and you want to find quality companies that are fairly sheltered from rising interest cost, quality companies that can produce some degree of growth and are trading at somewhat reasonable valuations. So it's really a story of the rising tide is no longer lifting all boats, but there are still some very quality, fast-running boats out there, and we want to link our stories to those.
I guess the fundamental question, Laura, is whether we can see earnings growth return in 2016 to see stocks rebound. Do you think we can see respectable growth, as many Wall Street strategists do predict, which is why they do see modest gains for the S&P?
So we expect moderate growth, exactly that. We're about 2% in 2016. The consensus expects much higher growth, actually, 2.5%, some people above. So we're more pessimistic on productivity growth. We think consumer spending is likely to slow as real income growth slows. So we're a little bit more conservative, but 2% is still enough to really make gains in the labor market. And it's enough for the Fed to continue hiking gradually. So not a stellar year, not a sunny year, but good enough for this hiking cycle to continue and for the expansion to continue.